Hello, everyone. This is my Philosophy of Education presentation. So, for the purpose of education in our society today, it is the building the future generations to step into the world successfully. Education is more than just test scores, although it is an important skill to have as colleges have standardized tests such as the SAT or ACT that determine acceptance. They are not only skills a student should have. There is so much more that a student needs to be taught, such as critical thinking and problem solving, that students will carry with them throughout their lives. This can also be tied to learning life skills, such as learning how to do taxes or taking out a loan. Being in an educational setting also teaches students important social skills between their peers that can change how they communicate in future settings, such as personal or professional. And the role of an educator is an important role to take on both inside a classroom and outside in our society. Inside the classroom, teachers are working closely with students, teaching the curriculum given and creating valuable skills for students to carry on with them, such as critical thinking, effective communication, and respecting others. Outside the classroom, teachers have a role of absorbing information and taking their experiences and things they learn within their life and in society, then using them within the classroom for the betterment of their students. Educators have a role in society as being advocates for education, fighting for the appreciation and support from society for education and the school systems as a whole. My experiences as a student have greatly impacted how I want to be a future educator. When I was a student in high school, all I focused on was getting good grades, making sure everything was finished, and did not focus on material I was learning. I wasn't appreciating the information, just retaining it to move forward through my education. After diving into learning more about education and the importance of education within this course, I will focus more on enriched learning with my students over test scores and grades. I want my students to enjoy what they are learning and they really understand the information rather than just retaining it for a test, then forgetting about it. I will also make my students feel heard and valued as individuals, making them feel important and excited about learning. Empathy, effective communication, and listening are all three qualities I believe an effective teacher should have. Having empathy with students can help students feel they are respected as a student and heard. Having empathy will also help teach students how they can have empathy for others too. Effective communication can also help educators be able to teach the curriculum to students and keep them engaged with what they are learning. With communication comes listening as well. Not only being able to teach students material, but being able to listen to their concerns and when they need help can really determine whether a teacher is effective or not. I want to make sure my students know they are heard as well. My purpose for wanting to be an educator is to make an impact on my students' lives. I have had a few teachers in my educational career that seemed they really did care about me as a student and a person. They wanted me to succeed on an educational standpoint, but also put in the effort to know me as a person and help me grow into the person I want to be. I want to be that kind of teacher for my students. I want them to know they are more than just a grade and have so much to offer and they can learn. Overall, I want to be an educator for my students and to change the views of what education is seen as a whole by our society. Something I would change in the educational field is promoting more inclusion and equitable learning. There are so many inequities students continue to face that can be based on race, socioeconomic status, gender, religion, and class that can make an impact on their education. I want to give every student I have equitable learning opportunities, be aware of inequities in place, and make a change for my students. I also want my students to feel heard and know their knowledge is just as valuable. Each student should be able to speak on their knowledge and have a safe space to do it. My working philosophy of education is to teach with compassion, creating a safe working environment where students' ideas are valued and heard. I want to be a positive role model for my students where they can express their ideas and be creative in their own way. I want to make an impact on my students in a positive way and help them, if need be, whether this is a problem inside or outside the classroom. And that is my philosophy of education. Thank you for listening.